right, number five. Number five, in regards to having a stronger relationship, is to be independent. Be your own awe-inspiring self. That is number five. So we've been talking about all the tips, advice on how to have a stronger relationship. And I know we've said it, but I'm gonna say it again because maybe you're jumping in and you're not starting from the beginning, right? When we talk about relationships, this is beyond romantic love. So we're gonna need you to understand we are discussing every single interaction you have with people. So these are your working relationships, your colleagues, your clients. This is your family members, right? This is your community relationships. This is your romantic love. All of this. This even includes the relationship with yourself. This is all part of it. This is all connected. And we've been going over the tips. Having trust, being able to communicate, defining it first of all. Can we define the relationship? Can we talk about that? But now I want to talk about being independent. Because what I tend to realize is that our society, and you can look at the movies, it'll prove it for me. It'll prove my point. Our society has a thing that says if you are not in connection with someone, you are less than. Do I believe the human experience is best when shared with other people? By golly, I do. If you got some good people, some really good people, then life is worth living, you know? Are there places where we meet some wonky people? Yes, but we don't want those folks. We're not going to give them any time, so we're not going to go there. I'm not going to spend any time on that. Our society talks about being an individual, i.e. Gap commercials, but then they also keep reminding you of how you should participate in groupthink and do what everybody else does and be part of the latest, greatest, this and that for fear of missing out. Cut it out, okay? Stop. We talked about in the beginning, it starts with you. This whole entire thing starts with you knowing who you are. So when I talk to people about relationships and themselves, because somehow it always comes up, these ears hear all the things. I have to remind them that a relationship does not complete you, it complements you. If we talk about romantic relationships, familial relationships, those relationships, they complement you, right? We gotta work together when we do this family trip. But even on a family trip, you want time by yourself. As a photographer, when I work with families, yes, I make time to create the family portrait, and then I want every single person in the family to have their own individual portrait. They need to be seen as themselves without all the huss and fuss. We have to stand on our own. I have found that when people, parents, lovers, friends, when they put their entire self into someone else, they get lost. They get lost. And then when that person goes off to college, who am I? When that friend ends the friendships, who am I? When that marriage, dating relationship, whatever it is, ends, who am I? Because the person, that other person, becomes everything. This relationship becomes how they identify themselves. Now, I am married. It'll be 8 years this year. But my husband and I never lost sight of who we were. We have our own interests. He's gonna watch his Stargate and his Star Trek and all the sci-fi. He clearly has an affinity for, like, not even the B movies, but like the D plus, like the 2-star, the 1.5 star. It's like, bruh, must we do this? I'm gonna watch Star Trek. I'm gonna watch Star Wars. I'm gonna watch my documentaries. I'm gonna watch, he's gonna play the Xbox. I'm playing PS4. We have our friends. He meets his friends and does stuff. I go with my friends and do stuff. And there's a couple of friends that we now share that we have brought in from each other. But we always remained individuals. We don't get lost in our marriage. Love this man to the moon and back, but I am still Gwendolyn. Now, when I introduce myself, I don't say, yes, my name is Mrs. Jack. No, I am Gwendolyn G.R. Houston Jack. When I'm at the doctor's office, I'm like, it is Houston Jack, but Mr. Jack if it makes it too much for you. Like, you just call me Mrs. Jack. We still pursue our own individual interests. He's doing his woodwork, right? I would love to get a cutting board sometime this decade, but I don't know. I am doing what makes me happy and pursuing my interests. We are both working on other things to build our education. This is what it's like to be in my opinion, not a doctor, well, whatever, a healthy relationship. Think about it. And I know we all know somebody, so just, hey. But think about the one friend that when you see them, it's all about them. Like, when you look at it now that you're out of that bubble, you're out of the bubble, you can see things clearly. And it's always about, well, this happened to me, and that happened to me, and this happened, and this is this, and 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 this. And somewhere in there, you're like, okay, do you want to know how my day went? Do you want to know that I have a play and I have the lead role in this play? Do you want to hear about that? Oh, or, hey, where were you when I was at all of your events? You didn't come to my events? Now, I know that can get kind of tricky. I know it can. Again, this goes back to just, keep your word. If you are not going to go, say you're not going to go. No is a complete sentence. If you're going to be there, then be there. Unless of course something happens and, there's an emergency. But I knew some people like that. I had some, at the moment, in that moment, I considered them friends. And then I got wiser. And I said, you know what? I don't know if this relationship is giving me the return on my investment. I'm gonna have to let this go. We all have to have that conversation with ourselves. This is why we're here. Be independent, have your own. There are a lot of people who go out into the world looking for someone to make them happy, to complete them, to fill in the voids. Go back to step number 2, which is, who are you? Identify who you are. If you're not whole, if you're not together personally, you shouldn't be in a relationship. I'm just saying. Like a romantic relationship. Because your family members are your family members. But you can even request time. And I use requests lightly. Because if I tell you I'm not talking to you for like 6 months, I meant that. I'm not really asking for your permission to walk away from this family relationship. I am telling you, I'm walking away. But I get it. We want to be cordial in our communication. And sometimes, depending on the personality, give people the illusion that they have made a decision. But whatever. You need time away. That's cool. There are some cousins I have not spoken to because I'm like, you know what? You cannot be in my circle. I refuse to give up my inner peace for that. Not doing it. So yeah, in all the relationships, we have it. We have it. Keep growing. Keep focusing on you. Keep showing up in your genius because the world requires it. A lot of people get into a marriage, just as an example, and they cut off their friends because now the marriage becomes everything to them. Like I said, I'm not a doctor. I don't think it's healthy. Right? We got to see other people. We got to get into other things. We have to get out into the world and be socialized with others. But what do I know? I don't know. Be an individual. If you're at a place where you've got the person who's clingy, you're gonna have to have a conversation. And it may be helpful to have a therapist, counselor aid you in having that conversation. Don't do it by yourself, right? If you are the clingy person, same thing, go get a counselor. But that all comes from a self-awareness. That's where that comes from. I have met a lot of people who are in healthy relationships, and from what I can see, healthy relationships, and I'll just use my parents. I use my parents. Now, my parents got to a place where they were growing apart. There was a kerfuffle. You know, every relationship has this little wave, so hey. But they were able to bring themselves back together. To witness it firsthand, I was like, oh, wow. You know, like this is okay. But, you know, when you're watching people work through their storm, it can leave you with a lot of advice and experience. Right? I was a kid seeing this play out. But as an adult, the lessons I took from, we got to meet in the middle and have a conversation. And we have to remember what brought us together to begin with. And we have to remember who we are as individuals and not lose sight of that, all while building this house together. It is work. All of these relationships are work. I have had colleagues who have crossed the line. That is the trust that's hard to get back. Trust. But even with that, depending on the person I was working with, depending on how much I appreciated and valued that relationship, I wanted to make sure that we were able to meet back in the middle and move forward. My 25-year career was not a smooth one. Who does? This is life, okay? This is life. But I was able to make that 25 because I got back to the middle. Yeah, because it was like, look, I ain't never going back. Woo, it's work. It is work. But that's a perfect segue because our next tip is evolving together. That's number 6, and it is, I don't know, it's on the screen. Click it, and let's get into it.